Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of Stimulus Sundays. I am so excited to be here today. I have just learned the most valuable lesson. Sometimes on a dime, you have to pivot. And so exactly what we did. We were on another browser and it was scrambly and weird. And then we just hopped on here. So Bill, thank you so much for following me over. Thank you to everyone that followed us over from one platform to the other. I appreciate it. Welcome to 2020. This is a new way of life. So we're rolling with the punches. But I am blessed, honestly, to have Bill Warner with us today. He has a plethora of information. And I mean, I told him before we started our episode, I've gotten lost in his videos. He has so much content on ndot.org where he's talking about marketing and business. Amazing maven in the industry. And so I wanted to just take a second for you to introduce yourself, Bill.
Sure. My name is Bill Warner. I have a company called Entredot.
Entredot, thank you.
Entredot. It's a play on words, connecting the dots for entrepreneurs. Entredot.
Entredot.
Great marketing, huh?
Yes.
I didn't pick that up. One of my partners did. But we're a nonprofit that helps small business owners start and operate successful businesses. And we do that through mentoring programs. We have several programs. You can read all about them on entredot.org. Yes, and get yourself lost in my videos. By the way, it has a playlist now. You could get check out the playlist. It'll be easier to find perhaps what you want. I got marketing broken down into lots of categories. But anyway, I come from the computer industry with IBM and Intel for many, many years. And I got out of that corporate stuff in the late 90s and then ran several other businesses and companies up through 2004. And I said, okay, no more companies. So I proceeded to then go start a company.
Yeah, right? That's what we always do.
That was a consulting firm. It was something I wanted to do. Later, an angel investor group, which is still operational today. And then in 2008, we founded Entredot with four of us who decided that the small business world is who needed the help the most. It represents a large majority of new employees, new jobs that are created there. And half the employees are in small businesses, 50 employees or less. So we thought, well, that's a good market.
Yeah, booming market.
A couple hundred million, I don't know. Anyway, we really enjoy what we do, and I'm not going back to corporate world anytime soon.
I love it.
That's their loss too.
Sure. Well, I started Stimulus Sundays out of a bare necessity. As a business consultant, when this pandemic started, I opened my platform up for free consultations. And a friend and colleague of mine was like, I see what you're doing, and that's really sweet. But I'm sure you're going to get bombarded with questions and you're going to overbook yourself, and you're actually not going to be able to help people the way you intend to. And I was like, oh no, that's not true. Within the first 2 days, every single consultation that I had was ending in tears, with individuals just saying, I had this business for so long. My mom started it and she gave this is my family business. I've been an entrepreneur for 5 years, or I just started being an entrepreneur in 2020. This was my goal and my dream. And I just quit my job in December. And now this has happened. What do I do? And either they were crying or I was crying. But at the end of it, I was just like, I need a larger space where we can have a conversation about what do we all need to do. We're truly in this together, where we're trying to figure out how to get back to business. When are individuals going to start going back to normal? What does normal look like for us, especially individuals who are a B2C, company? And so how do I speak to them? And whenever Bill and I were put in contact with each other, we talked a lot about digital marketing. and the importance of understanding marketing, digital marketing for your business, and for your specific industry, because every industry is different. And I know that this is kind of a spoiler alert, but Bill was telling me he has a new series coming up on Entradot that he's going to be speaking to industry-specific individuals and interviewing them about different things. And one thing that he mentioned was like insurance and HVAC. Those are industries that are saying, okay, I don't know how to do marketing. I know how to fix air conditions though. And we all need air conditioning, right? Because I know we finally found summer, you know what I mean, these past few days, because it's been chilly. We finally got a nice warm day. But you know, what do I do to speak to my market and all of those things? So Bill, I would really love to just jump into this episode with talking about what do we do? You know, I mean, big question, right? But when we're looking at industries, what do we need to be thinking about as as places are starting to reopen, as we're starting to get back to business? What are some of the things that we need to be thinking about as small business owners to be able to kind of get back into this race?
There's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
First thing I tell people is this is not the time to put marketing to the side.
Right.
People actually say that to me. Well, I'm not going to spend anything on marketing until we all come out of this. That is 180 degrees off of what they ought to be doing. The time to be doing marketing and some special kinds of marketing programs is now.
Yeah.
Because of the issue you just described. People are confused. They're worried. They're scared to death in some cases. The emotional reaction to all this is all over the lot.
Yes, it is.
So the second thing I then tell them is, look, you know the industries of your customers. Get yourself smart about how these people are impacted by this shutdown and this gradual and painful recovery that we think we're going through.
Right.
But they must understand that this is not going to end in a few weeks like some people will lead you to be, we'll be back to normal in June. Well, no, we're not going to be back to normal until there's a cure for this darn thing.
So true. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
What I try to explain to people is that we all must be doing what is safe. And the golden rule is the social distancing. That's the big deal. Stay away from people. Don't touch them. Don't breathe on them. Don't cough on them. And don't get coughed on.
Especially don't cough on a place.
That's way distant from marketing. But you got to let people know that the reality is that this is going to be with us.
Yeah.
Whenever the vaccine comes out, that works. That people have, the next issue is going to be, I don't want to be the first to take that shot.
I will not be the first.
I'll wait till about 1 million people have, and a month goes by, and if they didn't croak, it's probably okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you set the reality in people's mind. It says what they've got to do is reasonable and prudent things to pull through this, what could be 8, 9, 10, maybe a year.
Yeah, yeah.
As we gradually get back to normal. But everybody should be doing things that are responsible and cognizant of what keeps people safe.
Yeah. And
back to marketing though. Every, like yourself, a marketing executive, marketing professional, but the business owners whose customers are also worried, do some research. Google has got more news articles than you could shake a stick at to figure out what's happening in the restaurant industry, what's happening in the tech industry, and the list goes on. Every industry you want to talk about. Right. Get a feel for what they're going through. You must understand them.
Yeah.
Then you understand probably, wait a minute, their messaging probably ought to be changing somewhat.
Yeah, for sure.
The messaging on their website has to reflect their recognition of the issues that their customers are having or their potential customers are having. You integrate that in your value proposition that you try to portray right on the home page.
Right.
Show you understand.
Yeah.
And when your marketing programs drive people over to your website, they read your 4 or 5 messages on your homepage, they'll say, this dude gets it.
Yeah.
He understands, he or she understands what I'm going through.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll stop now, and there's more to talk about, but
Yeah.
it starts with, you better darn well understand what your customers or potential customers are going through, else you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be left in the dust.
Yeah. And what makes them feel safe? We work with a lot of restaurants, and I've spent a lot of time on social media just answering this very question about what is it that makes individuals want to eat at my restaurant? You know, I'm now, I can't, it's not like, oh, our ambiance was so great and our customer service is fantastic. And I live in Kentucky, so we've got we have 55 bourbons, all locally batched and brewed, you know what I mean? Those are no longer things that I can advertise to make individuals come. You know what I mean? Now I have everyone's in the same brown paper bag, plastic bag with thank you written on it 5 times, and to go containers. So what makes me special? Why do I stand out? And the thing that you said was so important, is that when I go to your website and I'm looking for your to-go menu, I need to know that you're taking my safety serious, and that if you're not spending your stimulus dollars, and again, I know I'm biased, but if you're not spending your stimulus dollars on marketing, it's too late. You know what I mean? Because everyone is making videos and content and producing content on how we as an organization, or as a restaurant, or as a business, or as an oil change company, or as your insurance company are taking the necessary steps to make sure that you and your family are safe and taken care of. I actually love watching the insurance commercials that are like, we're taking 15% off of your insurance, because I've driven my car about 8 miles, in the past week, and so, we're taking the necessary, things to help you and your family feel safe. So we're taking 15% off, not just for the foreseeable future, not for just a few months, but for the remainder of your policy. Those are things that make individuals say, you get me. You know what I mean? You get it. I'm not taking the kids to school. They go to school right here at the kitchen table, right next to my conference call, right next to my husband's office. You know what I mean? You're getting me. You understand. So I appreciate you saying that, because a lot of it, again, we think that we're in this together is kind of getting a little cliche-ish, but it truly isn't. We are in this together. And the more that you see it, as consumers, we appreciate being able to see that you do understand. You're wearing gloves at my Starbucks whenever you're handing me my latte. You know what I mean? You're directing traffic in and out, or on aisles in grocery stores, so that we're not in such close proximity to each other. You actually are doing the things. So I love that you say that, because that's first. That's paramount to any company's success.
So the words that get woven into your messaging are like sanitary, safety,
Yeah.
you're safe, we're clean, we protect you. You go to your thesaurus, and find out what are all the words that are like sanitary.
That say sanitary.
There's probably 15 of them. But yeah, you're right. So your messaging changes.
Yeah.
But look, the next thing, once you understand what they're going through, and you can, as a marketing professional, you can start imagining. You go to your customer's website and say, boy, that's got to change, that's got to change. But you can give them some good, solid advice, because now you know what they're going through.
Right.
But the other thing I advise them to do is get down and dirty and personal.
Yes.
This has nothing to do with digital marketing. This is called caring for them. So you've got probably a long list. They all, your listeners here, have long lists of people they know, that they've got customers, they've got potential customers, they've got partners, they've got investors, and the list goes on.
Right.
People that are scared or not, and everything in between. Call them up. Have a 5-minute conversation. You're not selling anything. You're just calling them up to tell them you care.
And tell them you care. Yeah.
You tell them you care. You refer them to an article you read for their industry. Say, I'm just reading this article in The Hill or some other brag, Wall Street Journal, and I thought of you.
Right.
And I hope you're doing well. I hope you're surviving. I know this is tough for your industry. I know you're probably going through blah, 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 because you've done the research. You know what they're going through.
Sure.
Just thinking of you. I hope you're well. Glad to help anytime you need help.
Yeah.
have a great day, click.
Like, yeah,
And
that's it. Do you know
that's
how far that goes?
that you probably got time to do it because
You got time. You have time.
but you'll get 500 people, but pick the top 40 or 50 that really, really matter to your business and tell them
Hmm.
you care. So you show you care. That's why I said this is not the time to back off on marketing. It's the time to crank it up.
To
Part
crank
of
it up.
marketing is outreach. A
Yes.
telephone call is a form of marketing.
Yes, absolutely. And not a robocall. You do have time. You know what I mean? And if you want my business, earn it. And part of earning my business is showing me that you care. I've had questions about Stimulus Sundays that say, it's a free webinar. Is it really free, or at the end are you going to ask me to, but wait, there's more? You know what I mean? And I'm like, I promise we don't, but wait, there's more you at the end of it. Not asking for anything, doing it because I care. I would
Don't violate that. Don't
no,
ask for anything.
no.
This is I give a darn about your call.
I care. Yeah, I give a darn about your call. I love that.
I really give a darn.
Yeah, and truly do. And that's the thing, is that, and I truly do. It's if we earn your business or not, I truly want to know why, how, what can we do that's better? How can we be able to increase this together? So for our industries that are looking to do, they've done the outreach, they've made the phone calls, and now they're looking at digital marketing as a method to be able to say, we're now open. I passed Sherman Williams the other day, and I saw that they said that their lobby's back open. And of course I think of industries, and I'm always in the window of every store I pass to make sure they're doing okay. I'm like, are they open yet? Are they open yet? And I don't think about paint stores, because that's not an industry I work in very often, but it's great to see that their lobby's open again. So what can a company like a Sherman Williams or a restaurant, before we started this episode, we talked a little bit about restaurants.
Let's do the restaurant. Yeah. I'll do Sherman Williams first. My experience with Sherman Williams, I had to paint some rooms recently, 4 or 5 weeks ago. I had to call them up on the phone. Said, I need a gallon of this, that, or the other thing. And what you do is you show up outside their building, call them again and say, I'm here, you got my paint ready? And they come out and they slip the can, they got gloves on, slip the can up, and I give them my credit card number, which I gave them my credit card number when I called them. So we're done.
Yeah.
I never got a chance to go store. I assume you can now, but with social distancing standards applied, and then sanitizing everything that moves in the place, that's probably a tall order.
It's hard.
But they'll open like most stores in retail. They've got a major sanitizing challenge. But in the restaurant world, and in many of these companies, in bringing digital marketing back into the discussion, is on their website, there ought to be a brand new video from the owner of the company, Jim Smith, there, sitting proud, talking about his concern for his employees, his concern for his customers and potential customers, and going through, this is 2 minutes, 3 minute stops.
Yeah.
Here's what we're doing to be safe and to still be able to help you people who want a hamburger or a pizza or whatever you sell.
Right.
It's time to get personal. And I tell everyone I meet, and they're tired of hearing me say it, but I ask them, hey, how's your video coming along?
Yeah, how's it going?
And a lot of people are just scared to do it. Scared is the wrong word. Reluctant to do it. They don't know. They feel they don't know how. They don't realize how easy Zoom is. They don't realize how easy it is to produce a video like on Facebook. They think they think this is complicated as hell. Look, this is not rocket science. What
it isn't.
We're doing here.
We're doing it right here. But
it's funny. One click and we were together.
Yeah, that's right. But it's funny you say scared though, because I've heard people say Scared. I'm scared to do it. I'm scared I'm not saying the right thing. I'm scared I'm not going to come across genuine. I'm scared that everybody's doing it. I'm just going to be one of the other videos that you skip before you go. I'm scared that I can't afford it. And one of the questions that we had come in before our show is a young man who is a photographer and videographer who is now promoting that he is doing these types of videos. He's able to come to your business and of course, practicing social distancing, being able to help you to be able to produce the video. So for individuals who are scared to do it, that don't feel like I would like to have an intro and put our logo on there first, but how the heck do I do that? Or I don't know, I like to have music in the background. There are people that are doing, just that thing. The problem that he has and the question that he has is that should he utilize the use of digital marketing in order to market his company? Or is it great for him to start doing the old fashioned, well, he said sending out mailers, but we also had this conversation that we had about phone calls. We've been so digital minded. So, I know I go by and pick up the mail at my office. Oh, gosh, I went like twice this month, maybe. So mailers are something that I'm kind of like, because you're running the risk of individuals missing it. You know what I mean? But what would be your suggestion to his or answer to his question of, he's brand new to this, so he doesn't have a lot of content and traction that says, I've been doing this for years, but he can do it. And this is something that he's saying, I would like. I'm sorry, say it again.
You got to start sometime.
Gotta start somewhere.
And then you got one, and then you do it again, you got two.
Yeah.
A few months later, you got 200.
It's true.
But anyway, I'm trying to answer your question. So we've talked about the first thing is understand their wants and needs. Second is get your website in shape.
Mm-hmm.
The third thing you got to do is some form of outreach. Mm-hmm. We talked about the phone call. There are others. Mm-hmm. You mentioned the next one that I think is really important is reach out every few weeks with an email campaign to the people you know. You got an email list if you got a lot of people you know. And again, the email comes across like, I care about you. You're sharing something, some newsworthy thing that they would find useful and helpful. And when they say, oh, that's that guy who is the marketing consultant, or that's Deon Stokes, she's good marketing.
Yeah.
Let me go back to her website and see what she does again. Mm-hmm. So your website is got to be in damn good shape with relevant, up-to-date information,
right.
And sensitive to COVID-19 crap that's going on.
Yeah.
And what you can do to help them.
Right.
Is considerable. You can do videos. You can do the remessaging of their website and on and on. So I think any business owner should be having, as part of the get back to marketing and up your ante on it, is email campaigns.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the second form is what most people mean when they say digital marketing, some form of content marketing, and possibly Facebook ads or Google ads and things like that to the various demographics of your potential customers. Now you're reaching out to people you don't know at this point. And with the same form of messaging, you can get new customers because they have new needs. My God, this is a field day for marketing professionals. Everyone needs help. Maybe they don't recognize it as clearly as you do, but that's what I think you ought to do.
Yeah. And
but don't do any form of digital marketing until you got the place they're going to go to check you out is in really good shape.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that is so true. You don't want to be insensitive and they're like, yeah, we're closing. And you're like, you could have just done a little bit of due diligence to know if that company was going to be able to make it through this. You know what I mean? And again, so many companies are not. So that is a very, very important key takeaway, to make sure that, that you know who you're speaking to. But the type of marketing that we do is forensic marketing, in that we are looking at your target market. You shouldn't produce or create anything without knowing who you're speaking to and how you're going to speak to them. And it's not as easy as it sounds, you know what I mean? Because we think, oh, well, I know their demographic, I know how old they are, what their ethnicity is, what their medium income is, but you got to really get down into a lot of other nuances, especially now, to be able to speak directly to a market. And the thing of it is that whatever research you've done before, none of it is valid today.
We'll do it again.
You got to start all over. That's what you got to call us. You have to start all over because truly, whoever you spoke to before is not who is going to be a relevant customer, in the future. However much money you were selling your widget for, in February of 2020 is not how much individuals are willing to pay today. And it's so interesting because my husband is going to get his first haircut. He has it scheduled mid-June, and he's got a big beard. Yeah, it's got a little fuzzy. Everyone's trying to, actually,
I got a ponytail back here.
A little ponytail in the back. I love it. And, his barber, he's got a beard and a head full of hair. And it's typically about $30 for him to get a haircut. And he goes and schedules through the same app. And, they're reopening everything on their app. Is all new. Same haircut, same barber, same location. Haircut, $50. Wow. Yeah.
Maybe, my haircut's next Saturday. I'm about to get that surprise. Maybe, I don't know. I was going to give him $50 anyway, just to be a nice guy.
Just to be kind. But it's interesting how, again, everything that you thought about your market has completely changed. And the thing of it is that I watched my husband go like, oh, well, 50. And then he was like, purchase, because again, your market may not have purchased that before because you were so out of line with what the competitive market was. But today is a need, is a necessity. I haven't had a haircut in 2 months. It's something that's important to me. And us as women think that we're the only people that like self-care. Hey, you men like it too. That's your sanctuary as well. And so understanding that is imperative.
There's another phenomenon that's occurring, because now a lot of people are online, like you and me here now. Mm-hmm. I've been in meetings with 40 or 50 people in it. Our NCER luncheon is now online.
Yeah.
But I have some examples, or I've discovered examples of new markets are being created by some of these firms. Let me give you one example. Mm-hmm. In the therapy business, physical therapy, mm-hmm. movement therapy, occupational therapy, just plain old exercise therapy that a orthopedic guy would prescribe to someone. Many of these therapies can be done online. It doesn't require necessarily touching.
Right.
The therapy can be demonstrated via video. Mm-hmm. It would be monitored by the therapist online by observing. And most of these therapists have to be licensed in a state. So right. State of North Carolina licensed these people to provide therapy. They have never gone online before. So the first one that I've been working with is an occupational therapy company that has learned how to do occupational therapy for children online. Wow. And these are people that are used to having the child come to an establishment and provide the therapy. Mm-hmm. Or they go to a daycare center. So their market is 25 miles around where the hell they provide their services. Right. Now that they have learned to do it online and it works, guess what their market now is?
The state of North Carolina.
The entire state of North Carolina. And they go, holy smokes.
Yeah.
And any business that requires an establishment, building to be in, mm-hmm. limiting your geographic reach. Mm-hmm. If you've got an online business, whether you're licensed or not, and your service can be provided online, mm-hmm. Beyond the four walls of your building, you may have a bigger market by providing an option for your services. Now, this is another opportunity for you. Right. They need a marketing program to reach out. So yeah. I'm sitting here in about the middle of the state, in Raleigh, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. So I need you to help me to reach mm-hmm. potential mm-hmm. customers in Charlotte and Asheville and Wilmington and Greensboro. And mm-hmm. it's a marvelous opportunity to grow their business.
It is. And so
it's one of the good things that's coming out of an experience they would never have tried before. Oh, the option is I had no business. if I
One
don't
to
go
two.
online.
I have no business and I have no OT. So which one are you going to choose? You know what I mean? So it's amazing how industries are innovating. You know, they're really truly identifying, like, this was something that we would hope, and we put it in our 5-year business, you know, goal. And it's time to pull that thing out, dust
Yeah.
it off, and say, today's the
How
day
about
that we
next week?
Exactly. We implement that today. So we've modified HIPAA compliances. We've modified our geographical. We've looked at licenses. We've looked at e-signatures. We've looked at video. We've looked at streaming. We've looked at computers. We've looked at tablets. There's so much innovation that is happening in so many industries that are actually booming. It is, you know, individuals, especially those in marketing, which is a lot of individuals I know that we have that are listening today, to really start just getting into a quiet space and thinking about those industries that could utilize your services, and target those individuals. You know, it's time to use, you know, again, we started this show with, how do I use my stimulus money? You know what I mean? You know, individuals are like, I have this money. It started out as, you know, no matter how many employees I had, I was going to get $10,000. Okay, well, that didn't happen. So now, now that was good to think about, but okay, that didn't happen. But now that I have whatever the amount is that I receive, how do I best utilize these funds to be able to maximize my return, or, you know, to make my return the best possible? And now's the time. You know, now it's past time, but it's definitely time, as we're starting to see states reopen, to really start putting those stimulus dollars to good use. And again, I'm completely biased, and I think that it should definitely go into marketing, but you have to know who you're speaking to. Individuals have to know you exist. They have to know you're open. They have to know you're careful. I'm going over the takeaways that we had in this episode, because that is so important. They have to know that you were taking their safety very seriously. You know, I've been to restaurants and they're not wearing masks and gloves.
Oops.
And you know, either I don't want to eat there, or I'm not going back. You know what I mean? And I'm having a negative experience, you know, with that.
Yep.
But these are all of those things. This is the time to get innovative, time to get quiet, and really identify what to do. And the thing that I think is the absolute best is to not be scared. Hop online, get in front of that camera, turn on the light, speak to your demographics, speak to your current and past, you know, current or future customers, and let them know that you're there, you care, you're open, and the services that you offer. I think that is a huge, huge takeaway from our conversation today, Bill. Would you agree?
Think of it as, I need a new marketing plan for my
Yeah.
company.
Yeah.
Some companies, some industries are impacted far more than others. We've hit upon the ones that are doing the worst. Restaurants, hospitality industry, healthcare industry is suffering. But the services business, consultants, marketing consultants, mentors, we were working online anyway. Our marketing programs have to be upgraded with messaging and things like that. But some people got to really go back in and assess the needs of their customers and create a new marketing plan that, like we talked about earlier, with new messaging and new forms of reaching out to them, to kind of redefine themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing to watch the innovativeness of Americans and business owners.
Isn't
They come
it?
up with the damnedest ideas. They're
I
just
love it.
extremely innovative. You
I
know,
love it.
they fight back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be defeated by this bug.
Exactly. I'm not going to be defeated. And the moment we're pushed into a corner is when we show our true brute strength. You know what I mean? Push me in a corner, I'm going to fight my way out. So that is what we all have to do, is we have to fight. This is a fight, and this is a fight that we're all going to win, but we have to unite and do it together. And one of the most important things is to make sure that you're safe and that you're staying home when at all possible, so that we can reduce or flatten our curve and not, continue to spread this virus. Bill, you have been absolutely amazing. I have gleaned my own personal insight, and I've started thinking personally, I might need to update my website. My SEOs are doing great. Individuals visiting my website is always fantastic, but I don't have a video on my website. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram.
See
We're
how
hot on Twitter.
clever I am?
I know.
I got mentoring you.
Thank you for the checks in the mail. But it's interesting because we are all trying to do all the things, you know what I mean? All the things. But this is the time, is that, we have to make sure that you're holding yourself with some good time management, you know, because it is hard being a small business owner because time, I say all the time, I have a bad relationship with time. You know, I wake up early, I sit down at this computer and I don't leave it until late because I'm not leaving the office anymore. You know, before I could close it and it was over because business was closed, you know. But, you know, finding that good relationship with time management and doing what it takes, you know, because we will survive this. But I appreciate that little reminder.
Yeah, give me a URL to this video and I'll post it out to my closest friends and neighbors on LinkedIn.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, consider that done. Thank you so much, Bill, for being here with us today. I appreciate each and every one of you all being here. This is also an opportunity for you to be able to share this video as well. At the end of every episode, Bill, we always have something called shout out. We have our shameless shout outs. So this is the time for you to be able to say, I'm doing this, I have this coming out, please follow me here. This is our only, but wait, there's more time. We just want to be able to stay connected
I
as,
can,
as
I can
always.
advertise. Oh my
Yeah, a little
goodness.
bit.
So yeah, please start by going to entre.org and follow the Yellow Brick Road. We kind of lead you through what mentoring is all about, how we can help you, and you go to the video library that Deon got lost in before.
I loved it.
It's a YouTube channel now.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got playlists. I'm learning how to do this. I'm a novice at this stuff.
You couldn't tell.
But we really enjoy helping small business owners. And even though I was joking, but in a way I was mentoring you.
Yeah.
You know, and I do the
Yes.
same for others. We just
Yes.
talk about what's going on and figure out together what's right for them, what needs to be done. And all I do in mentoring is hold you accountable for what you said you were going to do.
That's awesome.
You don't work for me. You don't pay me much. I don't invest in your company. But you tell me what your objectives are, and I gotta internalize it. And we get on a track of doing the things that are necessary to solve whatever issues you're having right now. But by God, in the marketing world, the opportunity just is an atomic explosion of opportunity facing you to do all sorts of things. So you can't deal with an atomic explosion. You got to pick one little segment of it and say, for that piece over there, I'm going to go after it.
Yeah.
Love to help anyone that's watching with their issues as well.
Fantastic.
I've enjoyed talking to you. You're very enthusiastic.
Oh, I appreciate that.
You and Sitting Bull make a good pair.
Right. Me and my good pal back here. And we can also follow you on LinkedIn as well as Facebook and Twitter. Is that correct?
So I've got a Facebook page called entre.org, and you follow me as Bill Warner on LinkedIn.
Fantastic.
Or Bill_Warner on Twitter.
On Twitter. There we go.
Post on all three times a day.
Fantastic.
Whether you like it or not.
I'm gonna be there with you if you like it or not. I love it. And as always, thank you all so much for following us and sharing in this time with us. You can find any of this content on our website at jointeffortllc.com. You can also find it on our YouTube channel, which with this Stimulus Sunday, since it's a mini series, shares the channel with the Failure Report, which season 2 of the Failure Report will be coming out the second week-ish of June. You know, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so we're playing things by ear, but the Failure Report is just this. We've all failed in life. We've all failed in business. And we tell the stories of small businesses, entrepreneurs, and celebrities about how they've used their failures as stepping stones to success. So we're excited about season 2. You can find all of our season 1 episodes on our website at thefailurereport.org or on YouTube at The Failure Report. Thank you again for being here with us today. I so appreciate it. Thank you again, Bill. And we'll see you next week. Next week is our last episode of Stimulus Sundays. I'm kind of sad, but thank you all again for being here. You all have a great evening. Thanks again. Bye-bye.